Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I'm Rohit Paradkar. This is the new Aprilia Tuono 457, the Street Fighter sibling of the RS 457, something that we have been waiting for. Now, around this time last year is when we rode the RS 457. It went on to become the Indian Motorcycle of the Year as well. And now the Tuono has some high hopes with its Street Fighter styling. More than the styling, it's also the easy riding posture that it brings to the table. So if you thought the RS 457 was a bit too sporty for you, you wanted something more relaxed to attack the city streets with, this is probably going to be your answer because it carries forward all the goodies of the RS 457 and then some. So let's quickly dive into the details. Let's first begin with the design. I already showed you what the riding posture is like. That comes courtesy of this flat handlebar. Your foot peg geometry, however, is going to remain the same for the rider as well as the pillion. Even the seats are going to remain the same with the RS 457. So absolutely no changes over there. What changes is this. Even the rake and trail has not been touched at all, so that they can simply use the same parts, use the same frame, use the same subframe from the RS 457. However, in terms of the design, the RS has that 3-pot headlight layout. You don't get that here on the Tuono. You get this vertically stacked headlight, which still retains the similar design philosophy, but you also get these aggressive winglets right below the headlight, and then you get these boomerang shaped LED DRLs which give it that attacking stance. The TFT display again carried over from the RS 457. The functionality is going to remain the same. The riding modes and all of that is also going to remain the same. What it does get, however, is a different housing for it so that it looks more imposing when you look at the motorcycle. Now, this is something that you may have already seen at the EICMA, but probably what you did not see at the EICMA is the kind of scale that this motorcycle has. It looked quite diminutive in all those images, in all those EICMA videos, but here, now that I'm looking at it in the flesh, it's definitely quite a big motorcycle, especially when John Abram, the brand ambassador for this motorcycle, for this brand, rode it onto the stage. It still looked quite beefy despite him being what he is. So a part of that is obviously going to be the tank. The tank inside is still the same capacity, 13 liters, but on the outside, you're getting a completely different bodywork. You're getting completely different panels. So these are 3 panels. You see one panel here, which is what you're going to hold on to when you're riding. Then you get the tank on top, which is what you're going to lean down on when you really want better top speed and all of that. And then you also have this little panel over here. I'm sure a lot of you are going to mix and match these panels to do your own customized paint jobs and whatnot. But what I'm trying to come to here is that you get a more beefy stance with this tank compared to the RS 457. The RS was going with a more sleeker layout because it's a sportier motorcycle. It's intended for the track. So this definitely adds quite a bit of weight. The headlight assembly adds quite a bit of weight as well. And then you save weight with the lack of the fairing that you have on the RS 457. So basically it just cancels itself out and you still have the exact same dry weight for this motorcycle, which is 159 kilos. So the RS 457 and this are both going to be 159 kilos, which means that the power to weight ratio is going to remain as nice or as excellent, as awesome as the RS 457 because the engine has not been changed at all. You still get that same 47.6 PS of power output. You get a similar 43 Newton meters of torque. What has changed is the sprocket. You're running 1/2 larger sprocket on the Tuono for a slightly quicker acceleration of the mark, something that you would want or use in the city environment. So that is another bigger sprocket for you if you need it for your racetrack, maybe something around Kari. This might just really help, but I don't know. We'll come to that later. The tires are also going to remain the same. The tire sizes are the same. These are the Euro Grip Pro Torque tires that we have liked in the past, even on the RS 457. And with that, I'm also worried that the brakes are also going to be similar to the RS 457. This is something that we'll find out when we review the motorcycle, and that's going to be very soon. Another thing I want to draw your attention to is going to be the mud flap. Now for the Indian market, the mud flap has been extended a little bit compared to the export market. And that is because we are living in a country that has dusty conditions. It's also got a lot of bad roads and all of that, right? So the radiator, if you see, is massive. So to reduce the chances or prevent the chances of that getting punctured very easily, they have increased the size of the mud flap so that you're not going to be kicking up a lot of pebbles, a lot of dirt onto those radiators. So that is a neat touch in my opinion. Now the engine is completely exposed. You don't get any belly pan down below. You get this little panel that hides the the tank extensions, the exhaust extensions. This is still going to be an underbelly exhaust. They're not going with a big canister exhaust or anything. The entire manifold, the headers, everything remains the same. And that leaves the O2 sensor and the electronics around it a bit exposed. But let me know, what are your thoughts about this? The engine being exposed, I think that definitely adds a sporty touch. What the designers definitely wanted to do was also expose the perimeter frame, show it off quite nicely, and I think this motorcycle does it quite well with the lack of that fairing. The rear section is again pretty much similar to what we've seen on the RS457. You get those grab handles right at the back that you see here, and then you see the 457 branding right here as well. Now, two colors are going to be on offer. You see this white and gray combination that we are doing the walk around with. There's also the signature black and red combination. Let's quickly take a look at that as well. That's parked on the other side. Now, that's going to be the signature color combination. This is the black and red, so you're going to get a red rear part. The tank is also going to show off that red quite nicely, and the upper section is going to be black with the Aprilia logo right here and the black and red combination right there. Now, like I said, your foot peg geometry remains unchanged, but in the accessories you will be able to specify a quick shifter, and you can also specify anodized parts if you want for the foot peg, for the shifters, and even for the chain. So if you want a red chain to match this, you can do that, or you want to mix and match with the white one, you can do that as well. You can even get red anodized levers. Now, the other bit is going to be the pricing, of course. With the lack of that fairing, the pricing is definitely going to be cheaper compared to the RS457. So what you're looking at here is 3.95 lakh ex-showroom. So if you do the math, that's 25,000 rupees cheaper than the RS457, which is right now at 4.2 lakh rupees ex-showroom. So is it just as value for money as the RS457? Let us know in the comments. And which one would you pick with that kind of a price difference? Would you pick up the Tuono? Would you pick up the RS457? Do you want something relaxed? Do you want something sporty? And if you were to pick up the Tuono over the RS, which is going to be the color combination that you're going to go with? Let us know in the comments below. As for the ride report, we are riding this motorcycle tomorrow morning. The review drops on February 21, so definitely stay tuned to Overdrive for it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any feedback, any questions, put them in the comments right now. Until the next one, take care and ride safe.